Only 4 teams remain as we move on to the Afcon semi-finals. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. And like I said, we are back for some more Afcon content. And with the holders Ivory Coast getting knocked out in the last round for the 8th time in a row, we will have a new winner of Afcon. Someone that didn't win it the year or the tournament previous. The last team to win it multiple times in a row was Egypt, winning it in 2006, 2008, and 2010. But like I said, the holders have been knocked out. So now we're going to have a new African champion. I just want to say a real shout out to all of you for the support on these videos and on this series, because as you guys know, or may not know, this series was a thank you for 40,000 subscribers on the channel. And obviously now we are at more than 50,000. I've had so much fun predicting the games, and your support on the channel has been nothing short of awesome. And real quick, I haven't said this in a video apart from the live streams. If you drop a like on this video, because it's a football video, when you hit like, if you're on mobile, I think, maybe PC as well, a little football shoots across the like button. So drop a like, try it out. I also want to give a very special shout out to everyone flashing up on the screen who support me over on Patreon. On top of all the stuff you get, which I'll go on into in a minute, I did release a bit of a personal life update over there because a couple of days ago, I'll say it now, I won't show the pictures. The pictures are over on Patreon if you want to go see, I guess. But I was in a car crash, and thank God everyone survived. Everyone is okay. Like, seriously, thank God. It was one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me. And yes, there are some pictures of the car up on the Patreon. But the main thing about the Patreon, if you want access to that, is you get a shout out in every single video, of course. You get exclusive members tips and accumulators, and you of course get stuff like the Stake Builder Challenge. I believe I posted Stake Builder Challenge number 15 today. So if you want to get all access to that, you can click the Patreon in the top link in the description. You have the group chats, you can message me, and we of course do giveaways as well. But the reason I want to shout out specifically those on the Patreon is because I announced that sort of life update, and there were so many words of just love and encouragement, and I really do appreciate it. I appreciate the community that we've built here. And speaking of community, Africa and African football has some of the most passionate fans in the world. So it is time to talk about the Africa Cup of Nations. Now, from the last video, we did correctly predict all 4 semi-finalists. The 4 semi-finalists are Senegal, Egypt, Nigeria, and Morocco. Throughout the tournament, I've had varying degrees of success with these 4 teams. So Senegal, I've correctly predicted 4 out of their 5 correct results, as well as correctly predicting them to beat Mali 1-0 in the last round. I did not predict them dropping points against the Democratic Republic of Congo. Egypt falls slightly below the other 4 teams because I got 3 out of 5 correct results. I didn't predict them beating Ivory Coast. I did say they'd qualify, but I said they'd do it on penalties, and I did not predict them drawing to Benin in the round of 16, which they really should have won. I did, however, predict them to draw against Angola. I'm not just predicting them to win all the time. Nigeria, the team that I've been rooting for since the start, I have correctly predicted all of their Afcon games, 5 out of 5, and I had Nigeria to win and both teams to score against both Tunisia and Uganda. And finally, for Morocco, I correctly predicted 4 out of 5 results with 1 perfect score, that being a 3-0 win. And I've actually predicted Morocco to win 2-0 in every round, except for the last one. I said Morocco would win 2-1, and it ended up being 2-0. So I've predicted Morocco to concede 1 goal this tournament, and they have. So that's how we've done in the Africa Cup of Nations so far. It's time to predict the 2 semi-finals and who will progress to the 2026 final. The first matchup is Senegal up against Egypt. Now, like I mentioned, I actually predicted Egypt to draw against Ivory Coast. Unlike the other semi-finalists, Senegal, Nigeria, and Morocco, who I all predicted to win, Egypt, I predicted to draw, which perhaps suggests that 1, they had a tough matchup, which they did, but 2, they were the team that I had the least confidence in out of the 4 remaining teams, and I would say that is true. And I do also think Egypt were a little bit fortunate to get the outright win over Ivory Coast. I think Ivory Coast will feel very unlucky to have not won that game, and Senegal have just been very, very good this tournament. They've been ruthless, and you look back to Egypt, even on the first game for them, it took them a stoppage time winner to get the 2-1 win. They just haven't been as convincing to me as Senegal. So I'm going to say that Senegal win this semi-final in a low-scoring 1-0 game. The tip is going to be Senegal to qualify for the final at odds of 1.5. I thought about Senegal to win. I thought about under 2.5 goals, but you know, I said under 2.5 goals for Egypt, Ivory Coast, and it was 2-1 at half time. So I'm going to stay away from the goal line and just go as zoomed out, as broad, as macro as I possibly can, and say Senegal to qualify at odds of 1.5. Egypt have had a great tournament. They are a great team, but I think Senegal just have the edge over them in this tournament and also in recent head-to-heads as well. After this, we move on to, I would say, the most exciting tie of the two. It is Nigeria up against Morocco. Nigeria, the only team left in Afcon to have won all of their games. They won all of their group stage games. They won all of their knockout games. And now they come up against Morocco, who I believe were the favourites to win Afcon from the beginning. They are, of course, the home nation. So they, I suppose, have the home crowd advantage to an extent. Nigeria have been ridiculously good. Morocco have just been splendid. They've just been awesome. And like I said, up until the last round, I predicted them to win to 0 in every round. And then they go and win the last round 2-0 against Cameroon. And Cameroon are not a bad side. So as much as I want Nigeria to go all the way, and I've been rooting for Nigeria since the start, as you guys know, the most viewers from a single African country on the channel, it is Nigeria, and I'm rooting for them partly for that reason, and I think they play really, really good football, but I cannot look past Morocco, who, like I said, essentially have home advantage, and they've probably looked the most lethal all tournament. I like Nigeria a lot. I think they've been awesome. But Morocco, like I said, they won 2-0 in the quarterfinals. And then if we go back to the round of 16, if I scroll down here, Morocco ended up beating Tanzania 1-0. And then if we go to the group stage, Morocco won 3-0 against Zambia, which was our correct score. The only dropped points Morocco had was a 1-1 draw with Mali. And that was a very, very late goal for Mali. And let's remember, Mali didn't win a game all tournament. So Morocco have let in 1 goal. Nigeria have been conceding in most games that they play. So, I mean, they didn't concede against Algeria, which was great. My tip was Nigeria double chance and over 1.5 goals. So I was happy there. They won 2-0. I'm going to give it to Morocco. I think it's going to be a close game. I hope Nigeria can do it, honestly, because like I said, I've been backing them from the beginning, and they're the only team that I've correctly predicted every result, and I'd be happy to be wrong here, but I'm going to say 2-1 to Morocco. The tip is going to be both teams to score at 1.9. So obviously, for me to continue my 100% record with Nigeria, they would have to lose this game, but hey, if Morocco don't win, then happy days. I'd be happy for Nigeria to go through. So that sets up a very exciting final of Senegal up against Morocco. And as much as I think it would be cool to see Senegal win, it's difficult to look past the Moroccans. Like I said, they've conceded 1 goal all tournament. They have the home advantage and they just look really good. I look at, you know, some of Senegal's evens performances, like against Congo, how they didn't win that game. Obviously, Egypt, I don't think they're good enough to win this tournament. Nigeria have looked very good, but can they get past Morocco? I think the semi-final between Nigeria and Morocco will maybe, dare I say, decide the winner of Afcon. It's going to be so exciting. With that being said, that is going to do it for this video. If you did enjoy it and you've been enjoying the Africa Cup of Nations videos, then please do drop a like. Subscribe so you don't miss any future content. We do loads of stuff on the channel. Serie A is still going on this week, but we already have 4 perfect scores from that video, which is absolutely insane. Like, Serie A is incredible for us on this channel, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that content, and I'll see you in the next video very soon.